Good morning, and thank you for being here. I am Julie Miller Davis, and this is Power Up Your Productivity. It's our brand new inaugural day today, and we are going to be instituting a monthly Q&A/training call that will be housed on my website and will be done live every single month. You will have access to this call for 90 days post-call on my website. And I am just so excited to be offering this to the people who really need to or want to power up their productivity or just want to have a little bit more time with JMD productivity training. So here we are this morning. I know that Leith McHugh from Colorado Springs is on live and in person here, and we're going to go ahead and dig in. The first thing that I would like to remind you about are my social media handles. If you aren't engaged with me on social media, would you mind going ahead and trying to follow me there? My Instagram is JMD Productivity. My Facebook is Julie Miller Davis 15, or you can just go to Julie Miller Davis and then you will find JMD Productivity Training there. As well, you can find me on LinkedIn under Julie Miller Davis. Those are my social medias. Also, I have a phenomenal YouTube channel that is under Julie Miller Davis as well. And there are a ton of resources under there if you want more video. So that is how to engage with me a little bit further. The other thing that I would love to say is if you like this format of Power Up Your Productivity, where you're going to get a quick training tip and then time to ask me questions if you want to, or just listen to other people's questions, I would love for you to, number one, share this out. Share this out to your people. You will see ads for this, and it will come through in my newsletter that we're doing it. So please feel free to share out the link. It's a totally free resource for everyone who wants to engage. Number two, go ahead and return to my website, juliemillerdavis.com. At the very top, it says Power Up Your Productivity. And right there, you can register for the next 1 or 2 months. And so next month, we are actually a week earlier than usual. We will normally be the 4th Monday of the month. Next month, because of some conflicts that I had, we are going to be live on the 19th of July. So if you love what we're doing or you just want to keep coming, please make sure that you register for Power Up Your Productivity in the coming months. So that is all of the little pieces and parts of the housekeeping that I wanted to let you know. And also remember, this is our first time together. So if you are wondering what the heck is going on, please know that we will get better and better every single month. As you know, the first time you do anything, sometimes it can be a little rough, and you just get better and better and more polished with more time. So we're going to jump into a training today. And today is all about a common mistake that I see people make, and something that I'm hearing a lot about, especially as we are entering a post-COVID world, or at least a vaccinated world, where people have a little bit more freedom of mobility and freedom with each other. I'm hearing a lot of people say that they are still going, and they are also in this place of they want to leave their houses, but it feels like a waste of time to drive somewhere when they could have just done it on Zoom, and then they have to drive home. And what's happening is we've again entered this place where there just aren't a lot of breaks being taken. And we're working so hard and so much and so deeply that we're really not taking care of ourselves at all in the fashion of taking a breath. And so the biggest mistake that I see is that people think if they just go and push, that they're going to get more done and be more productive. And what the truth is is that the opposite is true. That the more you push, the longer you push, the more you just do, and the fewer breaks you take, the more tired you are and the less productive you are, because you start to get distracted. Your brain can't focus anymore on what you're working on. And so you're dropping in productivity the further you get into your day or into your week. And also, I just want to touch on the fact that you also, I think, get more burned out, but also resentful of the work you're doing because you're so tired and you're not really engaged at the level that you want to be engaged at. And you feel like you are giving everything you have to your business and you're not giving everything you have, or even a piece of what you have, to yourself, to your friends, to your family, and the things that you love. So, and even if you love your work, which I always get that too, what if working gives me energy? And what if I just love my work? Well, you know what? That is awesome. And I want you to keep loving your work. So we're going to talk about how to take the breaks so that you can get more out of your work, which will raise your level of satisfaction. Truth, truth, truth. So let's talk about this. Working without breaks burns you out, as I said earlier. It will completely fry you and get you to the point where you are having a hard time engaging in it, or you're having a hard time getting anything done or figuring out what the most important things that you need to do are, because you're still trying to do it all. If you're busy from what I call bell to bell, as my my teaching days, I still call bell to bell. If you're working bell to bell without even taking lunch or anything else, you are burning the candle at both ends, and you will get to that point where it's really hard to engage anymore, and it's really hard to get out of bed for it. And it takes away your excitement for your business. So I want to talk about some examples of what you can do, because I'm challenging you in the next month, between when you see me now and when you see me again, to figure out how to take a break. And I've just been talking about this, as a matter of fact, with the gals that are in my Unstuck program right now. We just went through a big training on like the top 5 mistakes that we make that we think are making us more productive, but are actually making us less. So this is one of the first things, is about taking breaks. And we were just talking about this. And there are all kinds of ways to take a break. It could just be 5 minutes. Brendon Burchard, who I am a huge fan of and follow, and he's all about performance and getting the most out of your performance. He recommends taking a break of 10 minutes every hour. I feel that interrupts our flow a little bit too much. So I have a different school of thought around that, although I do feel that we need to take consistent breaks throughout the day. So it might be a 5-minute break every 90 minutes, or adding that buffer in between appointments so that you have a moment to just breathe and transition activities. If you're going, you're not transitioning between activities. And so my brain is still focused on this last thing that I was doing, this last appointment that I had, or this last the newsletter that I was writing, or whatever it might be. And now I'm moving into the next thing, and my brain is still over here, and I didn't give myself any transition time. And so that break can help my brain know, okay, we're done with this, and now we're going to be moving on to this. So it helps us do prep work so that we can be fresh and present in the next thing that we are engaging in. So that's why to take a break, I guess, not necessarily how to take a break. So let's talk about how to take a break. It's really about taking 5 minutes. It might be, you know what, 3 times a day, I'm going to walk around the block, and that's about 5 minutes. 3 times a day, I'm going to walk around the block, and I'm going to figure out when I can do that. You would be amazed at how much getting up from your desk, leaving the house, going out, so outdoors, where the weather is, where the people are, all of that, and walking around the block, you would be amazed at what that could do for you and for your outlook on the day and the rest of the day, and on how less tired or exhausted or overwhelmed you feel at the end of the day. It can really make a huge difference. Another thing that we talk about with breaks is actually taking lunch away from your desk. Let me say it again. Take lunch away from your desk. So you leave your desk, you maybe even shut down your computer for a 20-minute period and go eat lunch in another location in your house, if you're home, another location in your office, if you have an office, like in your building somewhere, even if you were to run home, if you work in an office and have lunch. The reason this is important is, number one, you're making sure that you have lunch, because I know that some of you out there are thinking to yourselves, lunch? I go so long most days that I go, oh, I forgot to eat today and it's 3 o'clock and I feel hungry, depleted, tired, and de-energized because you haven't fueled. You haven't fueled your body at all. So lunch. What I have started doing, so when I used to teach, we had a 20-minute lunch. You guys, 20 minutes is all you need for lunch. Seriously. If you want to take longer, awesome. You could use it as a reward of hard work from the morning or something like that. But if you make your lunch in the morning, even if you work from home, make your lunch in the morning so it's ready to go. It's one less thing you have to think about during the day. You just schedule your lunch time. You go out in the kitchen. If you're working at home, grab your salad or your soup or your whatever you made for lunch, your yogurt and your cookie and your apple. I don't care what it is. And you sit down and you eat it. If it's already made, it's a decision you don't have to think about, and it's already dealt with. So when I used to teach at school, I never ate school lunch unless it was something that I really loved and I could plan ahead to eat that. But generally, I didn't want to eat school lunch, as you all probably feel the same way. So I made lunch. I usually made lunch enough for 2 days so that I only had to do it every other day. So I would make my lunch, take it to school, put it in the fridge, eat it during lunchtime. And I never ate in my classroom. I ate with other teachers. I ate in the lounge or the cafeteria or wherever. And it made me take a break. We were forced to have a break because we had 27 minutes or whatever it was with our bell schedule on each end. So I've started doing the same thing at home. I make my lunch so it's ready to go, because I actually hate making lunch at lunchtime. I can never make the decision. I don't know if any of you are with me on that, but make your lunch in the morning, then you work, you take the break, schedule the lunch. You guys, it's so important to write lunch on your calendar and have that 30 minutes. Maybe you eat for 20, but it takes you a couple minutes to use the restroom, get something to drink, sit down. So give yourself 30. If this is feeling too scary, start with 20. Okay. And then come back to your desk, fire things up again 30 minutes later. You'll be amazed. So that's another way to take a break. So one is to schedule 3 consistent breaks, maybe take a walk around the block, maybe just get up and go drink a glass of water and then walk around your house and come back, or walk around the office and come back. Find a way to refresh your body, refresh your brain. 3 times a day. One of those could be lunch. So this is what I'm challenging you for, is I'm challenging you to take even 1 to 2, let's start small, 1 to 2 breaks a day for the next 2 to 4 weeks, and schedule them in. Make sure that they happen so that, number 1, you can transition your brain. Number 2, you aren't so burned out and fried at the end of the day that you can't focus or finish off what you wanted or needed to finish off for the day. And so that you remain refreshed for whatever you're doing in the evening, whether it's hanging with your family or friends, or just engaging in a hobby that you have. So here's the thing that I'm going to do next on these Power Up Your Productivity calls. It will be a quick productivity tip. Today I'm talking a little bit longer. I have a small number of attendees on, but it's our first one. So thank you for being here. And I'm just going to leave a couple seconds here to see if anybody has any questions or comments about what you already do to take breaks, or what your thoughts are around, like, well, I don't really want to walk around the block, but you know what I could do for a break is this. So we can use this time to share ideas that you have, things you already do, things that you're thinking you might do to engage in this break, or questions that you might have around this training today or around your productivity. I just want to leave a couple spaces for you to ask these questions. You are welcome to type it into the chat, and I should be able to see that. So I will open up my chat so that I can see if anyone is writing in there. Leith, and I know this because Leith has been a client of mine, but she engaged this this practice earlier this year. She walks 6 minutes every day, 6 minutes. And she scheduled just the word eat every day on her calendar for 30 minutes. And so it's really making a difference in what she's doing in that 6 minute walk. I don't think she's missed a day. And so 6 minutes of walking is phenomenal for your mind and for your body. Thank you so much for sharing that, Leith. I really appreciate it. So this is our challenge for the next 2 weeks. I would love to hear any other productivity questions that you have. Please don't hesitate. We will send out a survey in the next month to see what you would like to talk about. And also I'm going to be writing a post on my social media where you can just write a comment on things that you'd like to hear from, because what I want to do is create a maybe thematic way of training you all in productivity. If I see that there are related questions, related topics that you'd like me to cover, so that I am giving you stuff that is going to be interesting to you and that you actually want to learn. I don't want to always be the one deciding what to train on, because sometimes what you want to hear isn't necessarily where I go with this. And so don't hesitate to reach out and tell me something that you would love to hear a quick training on each month. Again, we will be here. Don't forget to register for the coming months on Power Up Your Productivity. It will always be webinar format. You can always find it on my website. JulieMillerDavis.com is where you find that. And I want to thank you all today. This is a quick one, but hopefully well worth it, and nice reminders or something new for you to integrate to power up your productivity for the next month. Thank you all so much, and I will see you next month.